Okay, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I would like to say that I cannot make it on our live discussion today, but then I already prepared a video recorded about our discussion. Since our subject is a lecture part or a lecture type of subject, I already recorded prior to our schedule. Okay. So, which means that this actual video that you are watching was already recorded previously. And with that, uh, the interaction would be through the live chat box on this video. You will see on this video there is a live feed, there is a live chat box. So every time I'm going to ask something, you are going to answer it using the live chat. So uh I this is premiered, which means you can access this time up to later on, but then the comments will be posted on the actual minutes that I ask you to comment it. Okay. Now to start with, I want you to comment your name and present, the word present. Okay. Again, I want you to comment your name and the word present. So, as an example, Ricky Oliveria present. Okay. So, let me repeat that. Okay. Your name and then the word present. So, I'll give you 10 seconds to do that. Okay. So, good morning again. This is our topic for today, work. Okay. So this is in relation to introduction to computing and also living in IT era. Okay. So let's start. So our module objective is to recognize work issues raised by modern information technology and relevant to computer professionals. Also, to analyze work issues raised by modern information technology and relevant to computer professionals. So these are our main objective to at least identify them. Okay. So these are the what we will cover. So fears and questions, the impact on employment, the work environment, employee crime, employee monitoring, okay, the data privacy, okay, the Republic Act 7877, Republic Act 11313, Republic Act 9262, and I think yun na lahat sila. I think all of that should cover. So we will at least have, no, you don't need to memorize all of this, no. Hindi nyo kailangan i-memorize. uh just be familiarized with the terms and the terminologies that I'm going to give through this PowerPoint presentation, so that in your uh, examinations, no, there might be a probability that this terms would be appearing in your examination. Okay, so let's go first with the fears and questions. So the introduction of computers in the workplace generated many fears. So because of the computers in the workplace, there are some fears already. No? So mass unemployment due to increase of efficiency, the need for increased skills and training widens earning gap. So let's say, for example, before, no, without computer operated machineries, companies would offer a lot of job. Okay. Like for example, in different factories, okay, there are processes that is a process there are processes wherein they need to be handmade process. Okay. Now, just because the IT era nowadays, no, some of which were replaced by a machine. Okay, so when machine came in, okay, some of the employees are not needed too. They're not needed anymore. Okay, which means they have to lay off some of the employee. Okay, so the need to increase skills and trainings widens the earning gap, which means, okay, normal person which is a graduate of high school cannot enter anymore because some of the companies would give you a qualification, would want you to be qualified to to operate a particular computer machine. Okay. So new trends still generating fears, like offshoring of jobs will lead to mass unemployment, employers use of technology to monitor their employees. So example of which, offshoring of jobs will lead to mass, kapag sinabi natin, when we say offshoring means, uh let's say in Olongapo, no? In Olongapo. Okay, let's say in Olongapo. Before, Wistron is so popular. Wistron is so popular. They have, I think, 10 buildings, if I'm not mistaken. They have several buildings. Now, because of offshoring, they moved their company outside Philippines. Okay, that is offshoring. So that means it would create mass unemployment. Meaning, if they would going to relocate their company, Filipinos, which is currently employed on that particular workplace, would end up unemployed because not all of them would going to transfer on that particular country. Okay, so why do this, why do this company needs to offshore? Okay, why do this company needs to offshore, need to offshore? Can you type your answer? 5 seconds. Okay, so 5 seconds is, uh your answer was already typed after 5 seconds. So sometimes, no, they tend to do offshoring because the manpower cost to other country is much less compared to Philippines. So let's say here, uh, the I'm not sure with the rate. Okay, so let's say for example in Olongapo, they are paying each of employee, a regular employee of 500 pesos. But then if they offshore, let's say they would go to China, okay? They would just pay 300 pesos. And imagine 300 pesos. The 200 pesos savings from each employee. Let's say they have 20,000 employee, you multiply that with 200 per day. Multiply that to 30 days, to a year. That's the number of savings that they will have. Okay, so meaning it's also, manpower is also considered. Okay, so job creation and destruction. A successful technology eliminates or reduces some of the jobs, but creates other. Okay, this is a sad truth. No, okay, just like what happened in pandemic. Okay, like in academic, academics uh area, like 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 those teachers who cannot teach using online, they have no choice but to stop teaching. Well, those teachers who are currently using technology in their teaching, they're lucky. Okay, so that's a successful technology which eliminates and reduces jobs. Okay. Okay. So there might be probability that it will create additional job, but then of course there is always a downside, and that is the downside. New industries arise, okay, like internet and cellular communication. Okay? Lower prices increase demand and create jobs. Music industry changed from serving the wealthy to serving the masses, employing more than just musician. Okay? So these are just example. Let's continue. Uh Growth of computers have been steady while unemployment has fluctuated widely. Okay, so computers have been steady. The development has been steady, but then the rate of unemployment is really rising. Okay, nowadays, are we earning less? Since 1970s, wages decrease, but fringe benefits increase. People work fewer hours since the Industrial Revolution. Okay, decrease in take-home pays may be due to other factors like increase of tax, purchasing power increase as prices fall. Okay, so currently, maybe uh, maybe some, no, maybe some would say that they are earning less, or your parents would say that you guys that your parent is earning less, but then some of your parents would earning more. Okay, it would depend on the situation currently. Okay, so the more you earn, the more increases you tax. Okay, the tax increases. Okay, now currently, what is the current issue that we have in the Philippines? Wherein since this year, okay, starting January, last January, started January, no? The oil, the price of the oil or the gasoline increased from 20 pesos. Imagine that. Okay. So that is the inflation. Okay. But then the taxes of the people are not getting low. They are getting also high. Okay. So challenging skills. The new jobs created from computers are different from jobs eliminated. Correct. No? So let's say you hire a particular person which is skilled in computer, then you eliminate a person who doesn't know anything on computer. New jobs such as computer engineer, analysts requires a college degree. Okay, so this is true. You cannot uh, uh, be an engineer without studying. Okay, where jobs such as bank tellers, customer service representative, and clerks do not. Okay, you could be clerk. You could be a customer service representative even if you did not finish your college. Okay. So these are just examples. These are just examples. Companies are more willing to hire people without specific skills when they can train new people quickly and use automated support systems. So that is what happening in the BPO. Okay, this is what happening on the BPO. Okay. Now can you give me at least three jobs that doesn't require or could be considered a professional job that doesn't require any degree? Okay, I'll give you 1 minute. Again, no, three jobs that might be considered a professional job but that doesn't need any college degree. 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute over. Okay, thank you for your answers. Now let's continue. Okay, so global workforce. So this is uh to be considered our global workforce, we have outsourcing, offshoring, inshoring. So let's say outsourcing, these are the phenomenon where a company pays another company to build parts of its product or services instead of performing those tasks itself. Like for example, your laptop, your, let's say an Asus company would going to outsource their processor to Intel for them to create a laptop. Okay, so their video card would going to be outsourced in Nvidia for them to create a video card. So that is outsourcing. Okay, unlike what is currently happening in Mac, they have done their own processor, and this is called M1. Okay, so they are not outsourcing anymore. Okay, they do it on their own. Offshoring naman, okay, the practice of moving business process or services to another country, especially overseas, to reduce costs. So this is what I'm telling you earlier. Okay, like for example, why call center industry are big industries today? Because some of the company, like for example, the US, like what's their popular AT&T. Like for example, your account is AT&T. You're answering calls, but the calls coming from US. Imagine if they're going to build a call center industry in the US, and then they're going to pay it in their regular rate. It would cost them a lot. But then imagine the equivalent of dollar to Philippines, 'di ba? It would be it they have a big savings in their company. That's why they are doing offshoring. Inshoring, when another company employs thousands of people in the US, okay? So if the company, no, would going to hire people on the same what they call this, in the same country. So yeah, no. Almost 5% of US worker are employed by foreign companies. Okay, so yeah. Problems and side effects of offshoring. Yan yung paglabas, the company would go outside and then try to do the services outside the country. Consumers complain about customer service representative because accents are difficult to understand. Okay, so that is the one problem, no? The accent itself, no? Okay. So they have a problem with, let's say, they could not really understood the accent of other race, the other which came from other country, no. So increased demand for high skills worker in other countries forces salaries up. So some of the country would going to have their salary increase. Okay, like for example in the Philippines, if the president currently would mandate that they need to increase their salary, you have no choice but to increase the salary of the people. So getting a job, so learning about jobs and companies, and learning about applicants and employees. So online companies, okay, histories, annual reports, job search and resume sites, online training. These are how are you going to get a job. Okay, so you think of the you try to research the history of the company. Okay, okay, you find online training, no, okay, for you to be hired, to increase your skills, no. Okay, now learning about applicants and employees, who hires, You try to find social network groups or news groups. Okay. Uh, Data collection agencies. You may see LinkedIn, okay, Job Street, mga ganon. Okay. Okay. So itong mga to, you're going to answer it later, no? So at this point, you're going to answer this, no? In using a Microsoft Word lang, no? Using a Microsoft Word, you're going to answer this. Okay, and then you're going to submit. Again, now using your Microsoft Word, you're going to have this answered and submit later. Okay. The deadline of our quizzes would be next week since they'll have holiday. So magkaka-holiday naman tayo. So uh, the deadline of this would be next weekend. Okay, next weekend. So this is the first one. So this is the first questions that you have to answer. One, two, three. These are three. Okay. Type understood if we understood that this is our first line of questions. Please type understood. Okay, for me to know that you really understood my instruction. Okay, moving on. The work environment. So job dispersal and telecommuting. So commuting works at home using a computer electronical link to one place of employment. Mobile office, using a laptop, working out of your car, or at customer location, full-time and part-time telecommuting. So these are work from home. Okay, so this is another term for work from home. Okay. Benefits. What are the benefits of telecommuting? Reduces overhead for employees, reduces needs for large offices, so makakatipid sila. They could just do or have small office, then the rest they will just going to send uh the equipment at home, then they'll just going to operate it at home. Okay, it would reduce traffic congestion, pollution, gasoline use, and stress. So there are benefits. These are the different benefits. Okay. Now, of course, there is a downside as well. Meron ding problema 'yan. Okay? And the downside would be employers see resentment from those who have to work at the office. So, for some telecommuting employees, corporation loyalty weakens because there might be probability that they will skip hours of work. Okay, add work hours, which means sometimes you cannot say that you are currently working because you are at home. There are chances that while you are working, you could watch TV. Cause work office space has shifted to the employee. Of course, um, let's say for example, if you're going to work at home, some of the company would not going to give you a share in your electricity bill. No, okay. So it's your cost. So let's say you have a desktop computer and it would be additional to your electricity. Okay. So security risks when work and personal activities reside on the same computer. Okay. There might be a probability that when uh you are working and uh your brother or your sister do have an online class, there might be a probability that they would going to share the same computer what that you're currently using. Okay, so changing structure of business, increase in smaller business and independent consultant. Okay, so mom and pop, multinational small business on the web, growth of large multinational corporation, not all changes due to technology. So what what does this mean? So this means a transition. Okay, so let's say for example, uh, this one. So from mom and pop multinational, eh, they just gone into a small business on the web. Okay, there might be a probability of being a multinational, being a small time. Okay, these are transition. Okay, so these are the second questions that you have to answer. Okay, okay, these are the second question that you have to answer. That means ilan na yan? You already have five questions that you need to answer. Okay, please type five on the live feed if you understood. Please type five on the live feed if you understood. Okay. So for now, okay, I would going to end our discussion and continue this next meeting. Okay. So I want you to at least I want you to enjoy the whole weekend. I would not going to give you so much uh things to answer. If would go on discussing, it would appear additional questions that you might want to answer. But then I don't want to do that. Since I'm not here around to discuss really, okay, since this is just a recorded, uh this is to at least not give you a vacant hour. Okay, this is not to give you a vacant hour, but then anyway, I need you to answer the five questions that was on the on this presentation. Okay, after this premiere you could still go back with the discussion. Okay, you can still play it and you can still hear the discussion. Okay. Okay, so that's it. I would be waiting for your answer until next week, but then our next meeting would be Friday again. Okay, so if you have any questions, any concerns, you may drop it in our uh group chat. Okay, so I want to see who is still present. I want you to type uh number 6. I want you to type number 6. Okay. I want you to type number 6. Okay, thank you for attending our class today. I will be waiting for your answer. Have a great weekend everyone. See you around.